Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to learn how to use the HLOOKUP function in Microsoft Excel. Before we start building the formula, let's quickly understand the difference between two common lookup functions, VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP function searches vertically. It looks for a value in the first column of a table and returns information from another column in the same row. This works best when your data is organized down columns. On the other hand, the HLOOKUP function searches horizontally. It looks for a value in the first row of a table and returns a value from a row beneath it. This works best when the categories are arranged across the top row, which is exactly how the data in this worksheet is structured. If we look at the table at the top of the worksheet, we see several food categories such as ice cream, pizza, burger, tacos, sushi, and donut, arranged across the first row. When I go to the food category drop-down cell and select a specific food item, Excel automatically returns the corresponding price, calories, and ranking for that item using the HLOOKUP formulas written in cells J3 to J5. We also have another example below called Budget HLOOKUP. Here, when I click the drop-down list in cell C12, I can choose a category such as car insurance or any other expense category. Once selected, Excel automatically returns the amount spent in 2023 and 2024 from the budget table. HLOOKUP can pull values from a horizontal table based on a selected category. Before writing the HLOOKUP formula, I completed two setup steps that we learned earlier in Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. There is a file that is attached below the video to follow along. So let's start.
The learned earlier steps that I included is I defined a range name and created a list. First, I defined this range and named the range Food. One way to do this is by using the Define Name option in the Formulas tab. To do this, select the entire table that contains the food categories and their values, go to the Formulas tab, click Define Name, type the name Food, and confirm the selected range. There is also a quicker shortcut which I used. After selecting the data range, I simply clicked in the name box located to the left of the formula bar, typed Food, and pressed Enter. Now that range can be referenced in formulas using the name Food, instead of selecting the cells each time. Using named ranges makes formulas clearer and easier to manage, especially when working with larger datasets. Next, I created a drop-down list of food categories using data validation. This drop-down list is located in cell I2, which will act as the lookup reference cell for our HLOOKUP formulas. To create it, I selected cell I2, navigated to the Data tab, and clicked on Data Validation, chose the List option as the validation type under the Allow drop-down tab. For the source box, I selected the cells containing the food category names, which is B2 through G2 in this example. After clicking OK, we see Excel has created a drop-down list so users can select a category rather than typing it manually. This is convenient since it prevents typing errors and ensures the lookup value matches the table headings exactly. Now, let's write the HLOOKUP formula using the Function Arguments window. We will create this formula 3 times, once for price, once for calories, and once for ranking. I begin by selecting the cell where I want the result to appear, which is J3. Then I go to Formulas, Insert Function, HLOOKUP. This opens the Function Arguments dialog box, which helps us enter the formula step by step. Let's move the function window so we can see our data properly. The first argument is lookup value. This is the reference cell containing the drop-down list, which in this case is cell I2. This tells Excel which food category we are searching for. Since we will be using autofill, I will change this reference to an absolute reference so it does not move when the formula is copied. The second argument is table array. Instead of selecting the range manually, I enter the named range food. Excel now recognizes the entire table where the lookup will occur because we used a named range. Since the range already has a defined name, we do not need to use an absolute reference. However, if we had referenced the table using a regular cell range references instead of a named range, we would need to make that range absolute, so the lookup table array does not shift when the formula is autofilled. The third argument is row index number. This tells Excel which row of the table contains the value we want returned. In this example, 2 returns the price, 3 returns the calories, and 4 returns the ranking. So depending on the information we want, we adjust the row number accordingly. The final argument is range lookup. Here I enter false, so Excel performs an exact match lookup. This ensures that Excel only returns a value when the category exactly matches one of the table headings. After entering the arguments, I click OK, and Excel returns the correct value based on the selected food item. Next, I autofill the formula to the other 2 cells. Not surprisingly, the cells initially show the same numbers because the row index number is still set to 2. To fix this, I click on J4 and look at the formula bar. I will edit it from here. The row index number needs to be changed from 2 to 3 since the calories information is located in row 3. I also changed the number format to general since calories are not a dollar value. For the ranking cell, I will change the row index number to 4 in the formula bar, so it corresponds with the ranking row. And the number format should also be set to general, since it's not a dollar value. Now, when we change the food option in cell I2, Excel automatically returns the corresponding price, calories, and ranking for the selected food item. Let's check another food item. This time, we select donut, and we can see the corresponding price, calories, and ranking returned correctly. Now let's move on to our next HLOOKUP example using the budget range. In this table, all the expense categories are arranged horizontally. Within this range, row 1 contains the expense categories. Row 2 contains the values for 2023. Row 3 contains the values for 2024. The reference cell C11 contains a list of expense categories from our budget. Next, I will click on cell D12, then click the FX button on the formula bar to open the Insert function window. For this table, the lookup value is the category selected in cell C11, and this reference has an absolute reference. The table array is the budget range. This time, the range is entered as a cell reference, so it is also made absolute since the formula will be autofilled from D12 to D13. The row index number corresponds to the year. 2 returns the value for 2023. The range lookup is set to false to ensure an exact match. Now let's click on cell D13 formula. All the references remain the same except for the row index number, which needs to be changed to 3 because the 2024 data is located in row 3 of the range. This setup allows us to quickly see how much was spent in the selected category for each year. When we choose an expense category, the formula conveniently compares the spending for both 2023 and 2024.